everybody else in Kevlar, Golden Smoke and a Diffuse Kit, nothing untoward here. Fnatic choosing to fight in the connector. Very interesting stuff. Trim's off to a good start, but it doesn't last very long.
Fnatic in a 3v4. They just came off the victory versus FaZe on this map, looking pretty confident. So don't let this pistol round deter you if Fnatic were to lose it. They looked very comfortable, but still in the round here. I like that the spawn boost is kind of very hit or miss. If you get the first kill, it's fun because you just fall off and you have all the info. If you don't get that kill, they immediately know they don't pretty much need to clear anything else in the site, and they can progress super fast. Open the door, getting a nice breeze here in the studio.
Yeah. mousesports are going to open the door into the B bomb site soon. They are gathering towards that monster tunnel, but in the meantime, Oscar's got a clear sight, so that means everyone's on B basically. So he needs to actually, they have to wait for him to make the move before they can go anywhere at this point, now that he's discovered it's empty, because the rotation's too far.
I like this. Some teams would try to fall back, but he's like, nope, let's bring him into the grinder here.
Bring him into action.
Bring him into it, and Oscar's going to see someone barrel in a second. Going to look around smartly, not engaging before he's unsure where they're at, and see you later. Oh, no!
Oh, he's being betrayed by the Glock. Maybe his team can recover. The boost is still there. Gold delivering a kill as well.
To his credit, that's a very annoying shot in the back of the head, but...
yeah, it's nothing to do with Oscar, really.
That's rage. That is just rage-worthy as hell.
But if his team can win the round, then it's all fine. But I'm sure he'll be tilted by that. Robson Sunny will finish off the job.
That is incredibly tilting.
You know, he should have crouched.
Can we get replay? Do we have a replay? I don't know. That was, I mean, that was just. I mean, he couldn't have been better there.
He stared everywhere.
No, he could have been better if he crouched.
Stared.
If he crouched, he would have been better.
I think one of my gripes with it is not being near the corner. I think if you take that fight, one way to solve that problem is you just back off a little and edge against the wall. So if you do start whiffing, you just strafe away. Your team's now collapsing, and then you just re-strafe.
That's a fair point. I guess he just never sees a world where that's not a kill, I suppose. That's the reason why he does it. Yeah, I see what you're saying,
though. For sure. I definitely see his side, too. I can't pretend I haven't been in his shoes.
Wait. Oh, wow. Nicely done by Golden. It's such a... I mean, that spot it happens so commonly.
This map is so difficult, actually, in these rounds, because one of the main things you would establish on a round like this if you're mousesports is the protocol to not take too many close-range fights, because you know there's a good chance they force buy, but you have to take bathroom control. Eventually, you want to take blue control. You don't need to. You can kind of leave it open and pinch it late, but taking courtyard at water at B, some pretty close-range fights. So aside from long A, you're pretty much going to have an opportunity to get fought by someone really close, and you know, we see mousesports now at a disadvantage in a 3 versus 4, and as they go into the site, there's a good chance another one of them go down, and that they end this round in a 2 versus 1, which is still very winnable from a T perspective, but I just wouldn't be surprised if it fell in that way.
37 seconds on the clock. 37. Often the number people choose if you ask them for a random number between 1 and 50.
Really?
Yes.
Krem's getting a little caught off guard.
W. 20 seconds to plant the bomb. They've got the CT side of the bomb site at the very least, but will they commit to the bomb plant? No. Rops wondering what else is there, and they will win by elimination after all that.
So I was slightly wrong, but at the same token, they almost got that kill on Psycho. Krim's had a weird peek out there. And as you were talking about Bardolph earlier, you remember the molly I was talking about on my stream?
Yes,
Oscar had it right there. He could have thrown it. And it could have made the round even more guaranteed and comfortable. So, 2-0, and now this is what we're talking about. They can just rush B because 99 times out of 100, the CTs will not rebuy right here. And that's just some peculiarity.
Easy entry against the pistols. Fish bash bosh. And everyone's dead. mousesports off to a pretty good start here on overpass. Fnatic obviously just suffering a defeat at the hands of FaZe on this map, just previous to this. And
Krim's having a great game. FaZe.
Oh,
Mirage.
yes.
What?
I
misspoke.
He's giving misinformation.
I'm giving misinformation. It was, in fact, Mirage that Fnatic suffered a defeat
Oh,
on
yeah.
against FaZe.
Oh yeah, I was just focusing on the other info.
Yeah, they decisively won Overpass. So it's
Yep.
we get to see how they fare when they don't have a good start. And it was actually Fnatic started on the T side on the previous Overpass as well, and they went something like 9-1 like pretty quickly.
Yeah.
So mousesports having a pretty good time. They've got 2 Mac 10s to continue with on this round, and they have an AWP onto Oscar, so they are having a good time. Sunny will take control of Connector, and mousesports will begin pressure towards the B side of the map.
Interesting approach here by mousesports to not send anyone heavily towards the A side. If Fnatic happened to do any type of fountain push, they would have heard no one playground and probably right about now heard that there's no one there and clear it, which is probably why mousesports is already taking B. They know that Fnatic could be taking A rather, and they have no choice but to go at the site. If they didn't and waited around and Fnatic was flanking, it's 100% pretty much round loss. Regardless, mousesports kind of running into a strategic kind of hiccup right now as they had to go, but they weren't quite ready as a unit. I see a little half exit coming in.
Only seen one player though. So what does Lekro make of this? 2 Ts remain. It's interesting now. We see barrel players drop a smoke between the barrels and the pillar when a CT is coming out of Monster, which doesn't let them retain map control at the cost of letting the Ts get closer. But it seems Ts are more prepared or ready for the retake. Order hold from the back. 30 seconds remain now. Stico and Rops looking for an opening. Rops trying to avoid being seen, maybe, I don't know, but either way, he'll get a kill. And that's pretty much the round right there. Fnatic are on the scoreboard.
So it's an interesting approach from mousesports to choose a round like that. I kind of like when they win pistol doing kind of a brunt force tactic at a site like B, because chances are even if you lose it, you're gonna probably come down to 2v2 if you do the hit right. But they kind of just walked out Monster, which if you're just clearing the right side of the Monster wall, it's a really great play because you clear it and then you kind of just hold, and then your team throws the Molotovs over the barrel Molotov and the site smoke, and then you're kind of already out and you hit. They kind of just peeked and died. So could have went way better for them. I don't think that's going to deter mousesports from doing something similar. If they get the lead back, if they win a couple gun rounds, it's always a good way to just make a close round happen and hurt the other team's economy if that's the situation here. And here's another play. We were talking about solo op plays to kind of cause a distraction earlier on Cobble, me and Dan, where Liquid did it the other day. This is kind of akin to the same thing, where normally when an opper gets flashed along an overpass, you assume there's riflers escorting him to take the bathroom control. It might lean them to play 3A, which is exactly what is happening right now in Fnatic. But already quickly, mousesports has 4 towards B. Oscar's going to keep progressing, which might, when he takes a shot or gets spotted, encourage that rotator to come back to A, as he did go down to graffiti, I think. So after the smoke is thrown, we might look at that little blue dot, especially with Lekro. I thought he wasn't going to see anybody. But
Oh, they had the Molotov in the corner and the pop flash. However, I think he was team flashed there, so he was unable to see anything. They were trying to flush anybody out of this kind of area and take them by surprise. So the timing's slightly off there for Fnatic. Some more counter flashes, but with 16 seconds, this push is surely coming in. 3 CTs on the B bomb site now, and it will soon grow. They are getting cut to pieces. The lawnmower is out for Fnatic. There's not much grass left here for mousesports. 3 seconds for Robson. He wants to run to his doom. Needs to stay alive now.
Last second ding. Yeah, I think that that pop flash clear by Fnatic and Water really threw a wrench into mousesports gears. I think they were setting up. They just wanted a little bit more time and quiet to let Fnatic fake. I don't think they realized that they had already overstayed their welcome there in Water. But decent concept by mousesports. Mousesports has always shown, every time I watch them, they play kind of with the poise of a top team in certain moments, but right there got a little desperate. So I'm curious to see if they're going to have more depth to late round plays as the half proceeds.
Fnatic haven't gone super aggressive yet towards the A side of the map. That run was quite passive. They haven't really gone past I don't think they've gone into connector yet, if I'm not mistaken. It is early, but I feel like so far we've seen a Fnatic that's just, you know, just chilling out a lot and sort of feeling out mousesports and what they want to do.
Which is not usual for them, which is why I was surprised that Mouse did that, a heavy B hit. Because normally if JW does this that first gun round and sees nothing, they might stack B.
Yeah, and here they go. They're trying to use the numbers with the pistols to try to get something going for themselves. JW will pick away one as he fades away. Smoke will go down to make the life of mousesports rather difficult.
Bomb falling down the stairs, but it will be collected. Flusher can't find the angle. JW's in a very precarious position as well because, well, he does have cover inside the toilets for the time being, but I'm not sure he necessarily did have before. And he was forced on a continuous fallback from his initial aggressive position, which is quite scary when you're the AWP and you don't quite get into any position with comfort. But here we are, 2 versus 3 in this cheaper round for mousesports. ChrisJ's collected himself an M4A4. There is opportunity here for mousesports. They've got time on the clock. They are position unknown. I'm sure a peek will come in eventually, however, or will it? CJW's angle. It's fairly safe. Golden's got 2 jobs to do, but he seems comfortable for the time being. So, oh, mousesports made a step, and Golden will hear that. So that might be the accidental step that just brings this to a close for mousesports. Jump past the angle, but now JW can bait for his teammates. Down to the pistol, and Stiko is in the red. Popping out now, the flashbang's there as well, and JW will finish off the job. 3rd round for Fnatic.
Ain't got no money. mousesports only with Oscar on anything. And Fnatic are starting to take control of the game, which is cool. And this also might be the spot where we start to see more and more aggression from Fnatic, because they'll be comfortable with creating a buffer of money, and it'll be more predictable as well as to what mousesports are going to have. In the following rounds, they're going to see the Glock eco, rather the P250 eco here. See if these P250s, small investment, they'll find anything with it. So far, so good for Fnatic, but there you go. Chris has found himself an AWP. That is not a fun prospect for Fnatic.
ChrisJ with a minute 30 and an AWP. Oh. That is a very, very, very big problem. He lives for situations like this. And the bomb is in a retrievable position. Really hear these plays and connected. They're looking for the double peak, but Cribs has only got 11 HP. Lecro there as well will finally put a stop to this. That was very worrisome indeed. Fnatic in the lead now. mousesports have the money to buy, however, so the pressure will keep up for both sides.
Curious to see what mousesports will do this round. I either want to see another somewhat early round B hit, which they might be doing, or some kind of map control, which they're definitely not doing. Where'd the flash go?
That's a very big question. Where was the flash?
I think I saw it. I think it went to the left by the track, which is a big mistake. Very important flash to throw correctly.
Crim's running out of bullets. 3 on 3. Time for mousesports to play with, but Golden is not going to rest, not going to wait around. He's getting aggressive.
Ooh. 3 players alive. I was going to just say they have 108 HP combined right now, which is not going to make things good unless Oscar takes that whole issue out by himself. Cheeky up. Ridding himself of that.
Oscar trying to make plays. Will he anticipate the player on the barrels? He will certainly have info on him. It's Flusher, and Flusher will take him down easily. Stiko and Sonny, as you mentioned, 4 HP each. Oscar was the only man with any health, and he's perhaps squandered it. We'll see, though. Sonny has gotten into quite a forward position on the A site. Stiko will rotate all the way. This is kind of cool. Sonny needs to find a really good spot to cut off rotation from B, and then he's pretty good. If he keeps moving, he might have problems, but he does get the drop onto Flusher. Golden now has to make the long rotation. Might actually be able to get there before the bomb does, as far as, you know, having an angle to hold. Okay, Sonny apparently will get the... He will die. Here, take this bomb. Go and die. Now Stiko ready for the clutch. Planning safe behind the truck in the 1v1. Golden, though, such a huge advantage. Surely there's no way he can lose this one, and indeed he'll finish off Stiko. Strange round.
Yeah. You know what would have been pretty cool is if, because, you know, who was it who got to A first? Sunny? So he knows last two are probably B. One thing that could have been kind of neat is if he just makes a noise in A and then just falls back connector. Like, he might run into a guy connector, but at least they're going to get a bomb plant without as much guarantee where they're at. I guess they're hoping to get the bomb down A and just get in cheeky positions. Catch that lucky kill. Tough round.
Cheeky positions.
Cheeky hidden positions.
Cheeky.
That's a phrase, right?
It is now. Molotov towards short B to stop any quick advancement of the T side. And there's the attempt, second attempt for the flashbang, throwing it before the train comes into play. And out comes Sunny. It's a nice response to some spray from Flusher. And the whole team is here for mousesports, and two players are very deep and out of position for Fnatic, so Lekro and Co have to do a lot of work here. Golden moving into the water. He's got to retain this real estate for his team if he can, but he can't. No answer to these kills from mousesports.
Interesting route choice by Golden. If he would have hugged the wall, he would have isolated the two potential threats, which is the push through the smoke there by the barrel and the guy planting. So he could have taken a little bit different route, but...
Do you mean, was it Lekro by barrels? You mean when he pop flashed and went down the slope?
Golden just there, who was running
up.
Oh,
right.
Like, the two main concerns from there is someone pushing through the smoke when he starts shooting and someone planting, I would think.
Roger that.
But he chose the wide peak, which just lends him to more angles, too. So, like I said, you know, in some situations I do believe I'm right. I've been in a lot of these situations, but other ones I do also have hindsight here and I have extra. And I got everything. So I try to watch how much I say what they should have done. And ECS is not that way, and that's
You're
why we
the
love
most qualified person, Jordan. That's why we have you here.
Sometimes in some of these situations, but even then I have to watch myself. Almost as a viewer, you become like a fan in the moment. Like, oh, he should have just wait a sec. Why he shouldn't have done anything except what he thought was right, and why did he think that wasn't an option? So you have to. It's kind of a fun process. Not always possible on these casts. Obviously, we're more laid back here on the online matches. Don't have a chance on LAN as much. We can bring in the hype.
Nice.
And J-Dub's just dancing with flames.
It's a really tight shot by JW. Fast push from mousesports, trying to catch Fnatic off guard and completely break their money. But it's not really working out for them. Oscar's trying to change that. Pushing the water, Lekro's looking for him. Golden will trade again. At least Deco is the last one to fall. Golden holding his ground with 3 kills there.
Nice.
Elbow, a bit of elbow.
Yeah, that's a really sick shot. 6 rounds to 4. mousesports have, after a good start, after the pistol victory, have found trouble. Just as FaZe did against Fnatic on Overpass. Maybe Fnatic's Overpass will end up being a very critical map in their map pool in the future months. It definitely looked like they are very strong on it. So mousesports will have to discuss a different approach. And I think it's hard to find an approach against Fnatic, especially with it's one of the reasons why I think, you know, SK at the very beginning of you know, their showing of them being a very good overpass team, like what we really saw, you know, Fallen showing the strength of a dynamic AWP, being able to push basically any position on the map with it, how that element makes it really difficult, because you can have a plan as a T side, but then if a player like Fallen finds a really fast timing somewhere and picks someone off, then you're in a really weird spot, and it's very difficult to play out of that. And we're going to see JW going for a different angle this round, and he won't see anyone.
That's one of the toughest things too, if your team is not all well evangelized with your game plan. And I think Fallen does that really well for his own players, where, hey, if I go down, I'm the IGL, but I'll, you know, Cold Zero, Fur will take over at the call right away, or the initiative, and that is where the top teams really shine, is when things don't go as planned. So
yeah.
Facing an opera like Fallen.
Oh, Lekro. His teammate holding the great angle. Oh, look at that. What a bro. Running out of bullets though, pulls his knife out, just waits to die. Frosted for his Jake. They still have the bomb for now, continuing to show some presence, but perhaps they will fall back and reset the situation.
I want more things to surf on. Like, every time I get to watch people do this on Overpass, it's cool. I want like some stuff on like Mirage or Dust 2 or Cash or something that I could just slide on. That'd be fun. Imagine like at highway as a CT on the left wall there by the spool. Imagine if that was slanted the whole way up. So if you like, if you're on the catwalk at A on cash, you could just like jump off and like surf all the way down to highway white box.
That would be
Oh my
amazing.
god.
Just fly out to middle with a CZ midair.
Oh my god. That's amazing.
That'd be awesome. 2 versus 3 here. In these situations, you kind of are just thinking like, where was the op, and like where can we walk? So I don't know if they really have an idea at this point. JW doing what we talked about, Pistol. If he misses this shot, they can immediately scale because they know one's not pit. And that's what's going to happen. They know the second's there. They're going to be able to smoke off site and hopefully see. Yeah, I guess that smoke makes sense. They don't know if the guy heaven will be there by the time they plant. I was going to say they didn't need to throw that, but great awareness by Chris. Now it's 2 1 versus 1s. Rop's getting there close like he should. This is where you play a game of stay as close to your teammate as possible, but in different spots. Ropes should be ready to trade. I actually would like if Ropes is a little closer. I don't know. I guess he could have flanked there, but I feel like Ropes could have just watched the flank from a separate angle.
Well, it works out for mousesports regardless. I always have a question in my mind when I see Crims on the clutch, because he's been so damn good of late. However, it will be a success. So 5 rounds to 6, mousesports begin to close things down a little bit, and they have been keeping Fnatic's economy somewhat honest, as we'll see Fnatic in a position where they don't have great weapons, and mousesports, they should be able to understand that this is the case. Ooh, that's a very nice shot from Oscar. He's going to keep progressing his way up the very scenic A-long position as we get the challenge from the pistols there of Fnatic down through Monster. They'll find nothing but failure. Well, I suppose they did get 1 kill, but ultimately it's very difficult. And Stika will finish off JW for the round. 6-6, things all tied up. But even still, it does feel like Fnatic have been by far the better team on this first half.
Yeah, money can change things very subtly with the score, and I think it's going to be about an... I'm going to just guess A7, but really interesting. I don't know if it's interesting more as like very kind of one-dimensional half from mousesports tactically, but still working out for them. They're definitely happy to get 6 on a map Seaside like Overpass.
Yeah, it's right now both teams, you know, you feel really comfortable with your positions. It's like they both have like a really good amount of rounds to play that CT, or I'll play the CT or T side with on the second half. And we do have a Mac 10 still on Chris J. Could upgrade if he wanted, but I like that he's not.
So I'm curious. I feel like since they know JW won't have an op, they are going to try to do some kind of long control. Maybe that's why they were avoiding A before. Maybe it almost seems like they have some kind of theory that when there's an op on the CT's hands, we just avoid A. Because every time they've known Fnatic was full bot, they've went B pretty much, like heavily.
It's a really good point, actually, and I can definitely see some logic, some merit to why that would be, you know, the decision. It's much rarer you're going to see that, like, Suez push with the AWP. I think we maybe, I'm not sure if I'm mixing up games.
It's much more forecast, though. It's easy to avoid, right? Like, they're going to throw they're going to put out your Molotov that you throw sandbag, right? You're going to hear them smoke that out, trying to take water control fast. Whereas at A, you just see the same smoke every round. It's almost like mid on cash, seeing that bottom mid smoke and assuming the operator is going to be Z. You never know where he's going to be. Whereas if you're B main, he only has one place to push you, same on cash. You go A and you can just die to a lot of different stuff. So, wonder there might be something to that.
Yeah, I can absolutely see that.
A pattern here with mousesports kind of avoiding A until they've not faced ops.
Electro
Surprise!
is gonna die. Yeah, pretty nice round from mousesports there in the end, and their plan worked out. And again, it was cool to see that Chris, held on to keep, a Mac 10, even though he could have bought an AK-47. I like it. Sometimes I feel like there's a lot of spots like that where, you can, like having a Mac 10 or even a CZ potentially could be better for the purpose of that player's specific role in the round, but just because you have the money, you'll see them buy an AK. Whereas guns like the CZ, you can't ignore how insane it is. The running, like the movement speed with it, and how accurate it is can be so good as the opening player where you're creating space for
the
the player
close
behind
range
you.
Fight, it's probably better than an K.
Yeah.
So
Keep on moving. Like in connector, it's pretty damn ideal. So good for trades, setting up trades. Either way, last round of the first half, and it's a hodgepodge buy from Fnatic. They don't have a very good look there. And it's a bit of a variety show. Flush is investigating sewers. This is cool. An information play. Very important. mousesports making noise towards the A side of the map.
Crims is around there, but with an MP9, he cannot go for the deepest of peaks, and Rops will punish Lecro for getting Larry around a monster area. He'll be smoked off by Golden. Maybe Fnatic wondering if any lurker was around here, but Rops is often here and there. Ooh, is he going to go for a timing push? No wonder, looking through the gap now. And he realizes with that kind of behavior that the CT would likely start to back off. He'll try to punish that with his teammates. Numbers game, charging through Monster. Not much Fnatic to do in response. Flusher doing what he can, but the numbers are too great. And in this last round, looks like mousesports will be going 9-6 at halftime.
Yeah, good recovery. It felt like Fnatic started to take over the game. They managed to get it to like 6-6 after a pretty poor start, and as you said, you know, mousesports with a good recovery into a nice little streak at the end. Rops having a pretty nice game.
yeah, it's a good comeback. I'm kind of just like, I don't know, nothing too special about that half to me. I think Fnatic's still pretty confident, but just kind of curious to see if mousesports keeps up this kind of unique. I don't know, they're playing different on T side. I'm curious to see if I'm going to see anything unique on CT. Is basically what I'm trying to say.
I don't know if I'm a fan of like no kits from mousesports. Anyway, it's a fast move into the B-bomb side. They are going to be playing retake. That is what you need. The instant headshots when the T's approach. This could not really be too much more ideal for mousesports. They have prevented the bomb from going down fairly quickly. The bomb will go down now, and this is going to create a timing for the CTs to push. And that's exactly what they're going to do. Together in numbers, 3v1, but Crims will deny 2 as he himself is caught on the reload. A very close affair, but at the very least, they got the bomb down for the team.
Does mousesports, do they live together?
Don't know.
I don't know, actually.
It seems kind of like a post-LAN win, kind of like pause before the defusing and high five. I don't know, he just like kind of just stopped and looked at the ground. So
Right.
Unless he's high-fiving his mom sitting behind him. There, way to go, Oscar.
That'd be so sick. My mom watches
I'd
all
be
my
surprised
matches.
if they lived together. Just because the age difference of the team, and they're
Right.
from so many
Yeah.
different countries,
Yeah.
the cultural difference as well.
He just did the pause, you know, the land stop.
Did the land stop.
The no defuse kit's interesting. I mean, if you consider the distance between the two sites, that probably has a lot to do with their decision not to bother with the defuse kit. It's not like a rotation from A to B on Mirage or something. So
Reminds me of that like super old clip on the internet from like maybe like 15 years ago or something, where it was a bunch of like really young kids, maybe like between 12 and 15, playing Counter-Strike. They win a round, and then like
get up
everyone
and
jumps
dance.
out this. Yeah, they start dancing to like techno music playing
Yes.
for like for the freeze time, and they will get back in their chairs and start the next round. Yeah, you remember that?
Serious, right after.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anyone knows that, if anyone knows where that clip is, give it like send it to James on the Twitters. But it seems like this very innocuous buy has become somewhat of an issue. Fnatic finding a way to get a kill and a plant on the A site.
oh, nice flank attempt from Flusher, but mousesports seem to be doing the loop all over the map, and this is a round where you might need that defuse kit. But none of these 3 players alive have one. Golden taken down, Crims unable to do much again. This is a surprise result at this point for Fnatic, so see if JW can get anything else out of it. The answer is no. But I mean, great plant, good damage, and it could have been even worse for mousesports.
I mean, how much did they save? Because they got the plant in the previous round too, in the pistol round. So look at their money. Damn. They rich. They rich.
Chris Shea gonna hold on to the little MP9 there? MP7 if you know.
I bet you anything that he will.
MP7 that one. Yeah, MP7's good. If he's playing close quarters like Short B or something.
Also, we were
Could be
talking about
viable.
anti-eco or ecos in this round, or anti-ecos, yeah, are so annoying on this map because there's so many little close spots that if you try to prod anything alone, you can go down. What was that Molotov?
Must be a team mode.
Yeah, all the way through it. Could have pop flashed himself off the wall, but he's a gamer.
Ooh.
Flusher with the spam.
Nice.
Yeah.
That clip is actually on Reddit of me right now because on stream the other day I did that spam and someone's like, LOL, you've never done that in a pro match in my chat. So I just go AFK immediately and pull up on YouTube when I'm playing Fnatic and I get a double kill through that.
Nice.
And then they got on Reddit, they're like,
Oh,
that's
owns.
Fully wrecked.
Let me see him do that in a pro match.
Here you go.
On the subject of fully wrecked. Now it's a quiet walk for Fnatic in the sun, looking down at their shadows, or their teammate shadows, since they can't see their own. Forwards towards the B-bomb site.
There's an imperative part of the map there as you see the train go through.
Very important.
Be careful, it might stop your grenades.
Hello.
Okay, well, there's the information. Oh, Oscar.
How demoralizing is that? When the first pump goes off and you're pulling out a nade and you know if you could switch weapons faster you would die, but you're just like, and watch myself die.
Flush has got 20 seconds. He's going to be sprinting to the A side. Can he do this? It's going to be tough. Rops is waiting. If he just waits until the plant comes in. Oh, that's a fake! 9 seconds, 9 seconds, 7 seconds. It's the fake again, and
Oh,
he doesn't have time.
I know he might do.
No, he doesn't.
The HUD is slightly
Wait.
delayed. The HUD is slightly
Oh, is
Because
it?
it's custom HUD, yeah.
delayed. But it must be.
Oh,
And there it
Who
is.
created this HUD, Amon? Jeez.
And there is the massive clutch from Flash, guys. We interrupted talking about the bloody HUDs. Come on, guys.
Speak of the devil. We shall appear.
Wait, that was a voice clip?
Yeah, man.
Oh, wow, that was awesome. Immediately redeemed themselves, production. Yeah, because immediately I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, 4 seconds passed, doesn't happen. You guys
Yeah.
have the inside meta here.
It was like 3 seconds on the 3rd second. So I wonder what how much the delay. Like it'd be good to know how much
that
specifically
couldn't have been
the
more
delay
than like
is.
a half second max.
Yeah. Oh, that looks pretty
Oscar.
on, Oscar. Oh, I mean, poor Chris. It's always the booster, the generous man, the
Oh,
man who
boo-hoo.
sacrifices himself that gets punished the most.
Yeah. But Oscar's not
Ooh.
done getting boosted. Woo! That was so fun being on top.
It is.
Why are they laughing in production?
It's because they're children, James.
1 minute on the clock. Nobody down just yet. Where is Oscar? He could be anywhere. He could have rotated. This is still a dangerous game, but he'll be committed to this position. I do wonder though if he'll be showing with that kind of angle.
He will. I think he's just got some read. He's falling back. Not going to stay there too long. And oops, going to see the feet, so he's going to assume more coming to the right. He's not going to stay too exposed, but he has enough vision to hit the flick on the right. I don't think he's going to assume anyone's going to fall off the ledge. Yeah, he's totally aware of it. It's all about the fallback plan. Take that shot, get out, hold sandbag, miss the shot.
Can AWP be retrieved? I think it was
Oh,
shot away
wow.
from Sonny's position. So he'll be left with the USP and the rest of the round will collapse.
Do you think that was on purpose?
What?
The shooting the op away? There's no way.
No. I think it was still in the air.
Oh, okay, okay. I was going to say that'd be genius. Psycho, it's a cool alias. I just like looking at it. Nice combination of words.
It's his last name.
Is it?
Yeah, look
Martin
underneath.
Stike. Minus the O.
He told us that it was pronounced Stiko.
Yeah. I think that is
Yeah.
actually correct. I just,
Stiko like
have-
Kiko like Nico.
my brain.
Jordan
Yeah.
wants
I
to
also
say
call-
Styko like Tycho.
I also say I also have
Like Nico
12
like
different
Tycho.
versions of KRB, Kagerby.
Cageaby.
Gyro boy.
Cageaby is cool.
Okay, Gyro boy. I think of like a really, really fancy Kirby.
Cageaby.
Sky Kitten.
Cage by.
That'd be good in the clutch.
Round number 20. And now
Cager, bye!
now
Yeah.
we've got two snipers on the mousesports side, Chris J and Oscar. Problems are compounded for Fnatic in that respect. Rops, you appear to be on fire, sir. Time to rotate.
Robin, hot!
Oh, man.
See what I did there?
I can't even complain because I do that kind of thing myself.
Yeah.
I cannot complain at all.
You haven't shown up as much as last time I was here. I remember you hit me with a couple that just stopped me from talking.
Letting you have your moments in the sun, Jordan.
Thank you.
Rops is
Appreciate it.
crushing, by the way. Rops is absolutely crushing it this game.
I just feel like he's chilling there with a bag of like hot Cheetos to his left or whatever his snack would be, and he's just gaming. He's got like chip like residue on his fingers. He's just
Ew,
sitting there
that's
like
so gross. What a gamer.
he just.
What a gamer. Look at him, he's disgusting. come on, Jordan, you gotta.
Let's
we gotta
expand
sell
these stigmas.
We're gonna sell a better image here.
See, Rops. Styko just getting a frag after his post-workout this morning.
There we go.
Stiko. Sunny sitting on the ledge looking tight after his run.
Nice. Those are some gamers.
Back row entry fragging. Legs looking solid after deadlifts this morning.
That guy's had a lot of vegetables. That's reaction speed.
Rops
is
on the quick
impressive.
flank, thinking fast because of all the spinach he's eaten today.
Spinach is good.
Good for your brain, JW.
Oh, and they actually are finding a way into the B-bomb site here. We got JW and Mr. Bomber Golden, although Mr. Bomber Golden is very dead. So Chris had the angle, playing it passively. The bomb has fallen onto the site, but you must cross this perilous path without smokes to cover your way. And it will not be doable.
JW always has that like accentuated flick thing happen. I want to watch him in person. Oh,
Yeah, yeah.
it's like he just, when he hits them, they're probably beautiful. It's an art. See that hand flick?
So you need to put a paintbrush in his hand instead and see what happens.
I was trying to think of a famous artist name to put in his name, but I couldn't think of it. So,
Van Gogh,
Jade.
Picasso.
Jasper
Da Vinci.
Cincy. I'm done.
Full spy
5-man
territory
B.
for Fnatic. Indeed, it might be. Could it be Monster with no grenades? There's a grenade from the CT side, somewhat shallow, but it will contain to some degree. Rops is going for a block arena, maybe. Is that
He
a
doesn't
bottle?
have a
That's a
flash
bottle
from
smoke.
the site. Oh, he has another smoke.
That's nice, some containment. You can see the players before they emerge.
So that's a DDK smoke.
What is it?
No.
Why'd you get all the smokes and Molotovs? I get nothing.
Make
No.
something.
That's
This
I
is
guess that's fair.
definitely-
I guess
Brush up.
that's fair actually. So that's a pretty reasonable argument. can't argue with that. Look at the creep here into that B-bomb site. Slow and sure.
Oh!
Let grow!
Let grow!
An assassin!
You don't know how to say anything but your name, so I just say let grow!
Deagle assassin
Jonas.
back at it again. AK in hand. What else is he going to land here? He's ready and waiting. And unfortunately for him, there's no one to help him out. There's no baits, nothing like that. Had to do it alone, but now it's down to Flusher, the AK. JW only has a Glock, a mere Glock. How the hell does Flusher pull this one off? Bit of distraction, defuse comes in. 1, 2, can he get the third in time? Oh, just barely missing the angle. The full defuse comes in. Stiko is good for it. Somehow, Flusher still gets to kill with the Glock through the smoke. I don't know, but still. The round for mousesports, 13-8.
That shot from Lekro, though. Oh my days.
That is nuts, isn't it?
Oh man, that was crazy. Nice. It was crazy and it was nice. Round number 13 for mousesports, and Fnatic going to continue to force it up, it seems. Are they at the point of no return? Certainly appear that way. Did Crim see the barrel of the gun poking out? Surely well, maybe it comes up on the radar. I don't know what triggers the radar when it is when people are on the brink of appearing. Is a trade there? Trade's not even required. That is a collapse of a round for Fnatic. Very important players and key guns taken away early on. I don't know what Fnatic can do about it.
well.
I don't have any idea what just happened. I don't. Maybe not from an IGL perspective. I wish we had a Sean Gears here to explain why they would want to just take blue control that way, that early. I guess if you don't want to deal with all the obstacles that like the bathroom / fountain area has early, you could just do that kind of creep. It's a pretty like good risk because if there's only one guy there, you trade him, and if there's no one there, it's like free map control essentially. Because if they let the pinch open from blue, you could assume there's probably only one holding bathroom. Because if they're aggro, there's gonna be some watching blue. I don't know. Sean, tweet at you.
Come on, Sean. Come on. Double up.
Force by number 3.
That's what's cool about CS though, because for as many answers and like things and knowledge I have on different maps, there's always something someone does at a certain time that I'm just like, huh?
Yeah, yeah.
Why would that be a thing?
And it's like when you have the complete information as well, that's like another thing that can be a bit weird. And also you can't see the meta, like it's not visible, it's not tangible.
Yeah, and so how dialed in is everybody?
And also, very nice, Mosca. 1, 2, 3, easy, does it. Eventually gets traded out, but it's fine. His teammates are holding it down on the site.
Grab that off.
It's also hard to know as well, like not just the overall pro meta, but also the team versus team specific meta as well, which is also a thing. So.
Yeah, how is their strat caller just gonna? Because the metas only go so far. If your strat caller just says rush B.
Yeah.
You know, it's. No, you could start to read. It is interesting the higher level you get at when you start to befriend a lot of the in-game leaders. How you start to, and some people hide it better. Like the Virtus Pro guys at their peak, they purposely would kind of mess with you, and that was part of their like pregame ritual.
Right,
and like, and they wouldn't like to have too many signs for how they were gonna play against you. And some teams had a better read, but it is funny how you can start to kind of get in the mind of the other team. And I think that is the weakness of some of the teams who rely heavily on the in-game leaders and the strats. Those are the teams who want to, you know, I don't know who would be a good example for us in the past. Maybe when we'd even played Liquid as our North American counterpart in the past, they always probably had deeper strat books than us, but I know when we got really scrimmy on them, it just pissed them off.
Yeah,
because their strat caller couldn't contain what was happening.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, that is frustrating to play against, but right now mousesports are on match point. Fnatic are fighting to keep themselves alive on overpass. They had such a crazily strong overpass against FaZe, but mousesports are a different story, a different team, a different style. Seiko will be forced to back away. No one's died just yet. A lot of pressure into the bathroom area. No presence towards sewers or monster for either team at the moment, but mousesports are beginning to gravitate further back towards A here, so they really feel this presence.
Sonny going for the full flank.
I like it.
That's
One someone has to be aware of it, right? This op though is going to add a nice distraction for Sunny, because I doubt they think another guy pushes if the op is still bathroom.
Yeah, that's a great distraction. Does he go above connector around the party position, hold the wall?
I think he might as well flank right here. Yeah, he might as well just peek this and clear it, because then at least they can retake B as a team. But if he goes T-spawn, something gross happens.
Yeah, with 40 seconds on the clock as well. I think if he can stay in this area, then one person can figure out what's going on at the front of A, and maybe Nico should be towards the B bomb site at this point. Oh, they're going back towards A, but Flush has been taken out, and Sonny's going to take the action forwards and wipe everybody out around connector. No response from Fnatic, 16-8 for mousesports.
I'm switching to the M4A1S.